In this video we're talking about factorising and specifically taking out the highest common factor. So factorising is the reverse procedure to removing brackets. So expanding brackets removes brackets. Factorising does the exact opposite by putting in brackets. So we're going to take a look at a few examples just here so we can see what happens. When you're taking the highest common factor, you're going to first find the highest common factor of all the terms in a given expression. So we've got three different expressions here. We're going to do that for each of them. Then you've got to put the highest common factor that you have found outside a set of brackets. And then inside the brackets, you're going to divide every one of the original terms from the expression by your highest common factor and put them into the bracket. So let's start with the first example here on the left and we'll work through this. So we've got 4x plus 8. Now, the highest common factor between the numbers in this is going to be 4. 4 is the largest number that will divide into 4 and 8. So we can start by writing that down. And then we look to the letters. Maybe there's a letter in our first term but not in our second. So our highest common factor isn't going to include a letter. So we can just start putting our brackets together now. So we have our highest common factor outside brackets. And now what we're going to do is we're going to divide each of these terms by our highest common factor. So 4x divided by 4, well that's just x. And 8 divided by 4, that's just going to be 2. So you can see that if we were to expand these brackets back out, we would get the original term. But because this time we're factorising, this right here is as far as we need to go with this. Let's take a look at another example. This time we've got a letter in both of the terms in our expression. So first things first, we're going to find the highest common factor for our numbers. So our highest common factor for 4 and 2 is 2. 2 is the largest number that will divide into both of them evenly. So we start by writing in 2. Then we look to the letters. The largest number that will divide into p and p squared is p. So we can say the highest common factor for them is going to be p. So the highest common factor for these two terms is 2p. Now we open our bracket like this, and now we're going to divide each of these terms by 2p and put the results inside our brackets. 4p divided by 2p is just going to be 2, and 2p squared divided by 2p, that's going to be p. So we have 2p multiplied by 2 plus p, like that. Now let's look to our third one here. This time we've got 3 terms and we've got 3 different letters involved. So we've got to see what's going to work out for this. So we'll start off by finding the highest common factor of the numbers. The highest common factor of 3, 6 and 9 is 3. So we write that down. And then we look for common letters that they have in here. And the common letter that they all have is A. So A is going to be a common factor. B isn't in any of the other terms and C isn't in any of the other terms, so they won't be counted as common factors. Now we open our brackets, and now what we have to do is we divide each of these terms by our highest common factor, which is 3a. 3a divided by 3a is 1, and then 6ab divided by 3a is going to be 2b. And 9ac divided by 3a is going to be 3c, like that. And then we close our bracket at the end. And that is it. That's the basics of highest common factor.